I do like the gag because I don't know if you guys know this, but we're recording right now. And
perfect. Perfect.
hello, everybody, to the Unpaid Nobody's podcast.
Welcome.
How do you feel, man? How's been your week?
Oh, my week's been bad. I've been very depressed.
Dealing with work?
Yeah, work's not great right now, and I mean, like, I'm safely employed. It's just like, just got some shit going on. I got some personal shit going on, and sometimes your brain just doesn't want to help. And it also it doesn't help when when the music that makes you feel like super confident and like oh, you can handle this shit. Like that guy becomes like a bad, like that guy gets real anti-Semitic.
So I wonder who could you be talking about, bro?
that doesn't help. Like, I'm like, man, I really wish I could listen to Lost in the World right now without
bro, I'm not even gonna lie. There's been multiple songs where like I'll get like 10 seconds in, I
skip it.
I don't want to listen to it.
There are songs I was listening to like a month ago that like they like kind of like turn my stomach now.
Yeah. It kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Enjoy the music while you can.
Yeah, like I don't hold it against anyone. Like if you're someone who like draws love from that music, like I'm not. You're not anti-Semitic. Like that's fine. But like I it's just at the point where like I personally can't enjoy it.
This will be the only time I might say agree with a political statement. The only time ever when they say a separation of church and state, separation between art and artists.
Yeah, I agree that's a good way to live, but you can't always do it.
Yeah,
it is hard.
It's not. I once again, I agree with that like mindset. It's just some shit's beyond the pale. Like,
true.
And that's really just where we're at right now. Like,
yeah.
We'll get to this. This is that's our news section.
We'll get there. Yeah.
Oh, so we got the other Funches here today. We got the Funchi.
We do.
Yeah. Both here. I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, we're talking about Kid Cudi this week, so we got to bring on Isaac.
Oh, of course. I am in my happy place.
Yeah, this is everyone wants to come on and talk Kid Cudi.
I was gonna say we were blessed this week. We got a lot of material.
Yeah, we definitely
did. A good week. It's a good week.
Yeah, no, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good conversation, I think.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Everything's working out well. We're gonna be talking about Kid Cudi. I'm getting my hair braided while doing a podcast. Something just feels right,
Yeah,
it just feels right.
We're officially like we were always a black-owned business, but now,
but now it's a whole new level.
Yeah.
But I guess we can dive right into it. Should we start with the albums?
Yeah, let's start with the albums.
Okay, so I was doing some research. We've talked about it already, but this is going to be one of the bigger releases of the year. Little Baby is coming out with It's Only Me. There's been some track list teasers here and there. Honestly, I know we aren't heavy on Little Baby, but I think it's going to be a big one, Brandon.
I think it's going to be a big one. It's definitely one I'm going to listen to.
Oh no!
Because of all like the Young Thug alikes, I think Little Baby's my favorite.
Well, you gotta also remember between Little Baby and 21 Savage last year, the two of them were like the feature king.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting what he pulls out.
Because I definitely remember a time when like it's super wild how like. Remember in like 2018 when we were like, yeah, Little Baby, nowhere near as good as Da Baby. But,
man, how things have changed.
Man, the tables have turned, let me tell you. And so like, I think something I've always appreciated seeing in artists is growth, and a lot of growth with Little Baby. Like, as much as it's not like exactly the subgenre I like the most, I'm invested in his career.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. One thing I actually wanted to bring up, because we've been discussing this off podcast for about a week now. Should we consider him in the new generation, one of the top 3 or maybe top 5 if we want to expand
There's
it.
absolutely an argument. There's absolutely an argument. My only thing is that, like, you know, in this conversation, just kind of like replying to, there's that other hip hop podcast that like is big on TikTok. And they talked about like the next, you know, the people who followed it up, like Kendrick, Cole, and Drake. Like, what is the next generation? And I think you gotta entertain Little Baby at least.
Yeah, he's massive.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I see it that way, but you absolutely have to entertain it.
I mean, we have potential. If this is going to be a classic, which I'm not claiming, but if this is going to be a classic, it's gonna change a lot of stuff around. I'll be honest.
You know, I think like when it comes to like if I wanted to use a sports metaphor for like releasing an album, it's kind of like more than anything else like baseball, because it's like anyone can knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I guess
You know, true. Like anyone could release a classic. It could release like an album of that quality. It comes down to, do you?
Yeah. And hey, it's called It's Only Me, so let's see.
Yeah.
I guess moving on, T Grizzy.
Yeah.
Now, he's been kind of on my radar here and there, but he's coming out with Chapters of the Trenches. Now, I know a couple big singles, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm not heavy on him.
No, neither am I. I recognize the name. I guarantee I've heard songs with him on it. I'm looking it up right now.
I mean, first day out.
Was he in the freshman class this year?
This year?
Or am I tripping?
I mean, I can check right now.
I don't
think so. No, I'm tripping.
I don't think so. I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think so. He has a long. Yeah.
I feel like he's been around for too long.
Yeah.
Don't they need like one album or something?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's been around for a while. Yeah. It sounds familiar, but no, I've never heard of it. But yeah, Chapters of the Trenches.
I mean, considering if he's been around for a little bit longer, Isaac, do you know him? Do you listen?
T Greasy has been around for a while. He's on and off for me when it comes to listening to his music. There's moments where I want to. This is going to sound kind of weird. I want to listen to real hood music, but there's different types of hood music.
There is.
You got hood music where they just going hard, or they're kind of sharing their emotions, or it's the light side. T Greasy for me is kind of the light side, maybe a little emotions. I like him, but I can't listen to him for long periods of time. I just feel like I got to disconnect. It's too much going on for me.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I definitely
like, just like the concept in itself, something that's more consumable, that's meant to be like representing the ghetto. I hate the term ghetto.
Yeah.
But representing a more rough lifestyle in the sub community. The fact that it would be consumable is like an oxymoron. So
right.
Yeah.
It's just hard to jump on them, I guess.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't know. I'll listen to it.
I just think he needs more time. Yeah. I think he needs more time and his name to kind of just grow a little bit more, and for him to just really, I don't know, dive deeper.
Matter of fact, I'm taking a look into it now. I've listened to the Smartest album, and it was actually good. I did enjoy it. So now that I'm looking into it, I think I was confusing him with Kevin Gates, which I shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But
are you confusing him with Kevin Gates, or who did the song with J. Cole?
I was thinking about like half of all people.
Huh?
Half of like all people.
He was at the tour with us. When we all went to the concert.
Oh,
who opened for the concert?
Oh shit! Yeah,
all three of us went to the concert.
Yeah, I remember. It's 21 Savage, and it's the guy on My Life. But
right.
Oh my god, I know it, but I don't want to look it up. Like I want to figure it out.
No, I'm not gonna do this.
Alright.
Yeah, that guy.
He's a singer though.
He is a singer, but this is gonna sound bad. They look alike. That's
weird. Alike. I don't think they look alike.
Me personally, they have some similarities.
Two big black niggas. Just
pretty much.
Essentially what it is.
Next.
Right. But moving on then from them, We have Mavi coming out with, and I've been promoting him on this podcast for like 3 weeks now, but he's coming out with "Laughing So Hard It Hurts." If you don't know who he is, very similar to Earl Sweatshirt, very like deep, dark lyrics. The beats are moody, so it's something nice to kind of go into every once in a while when you're in that zone.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend going into it.
Which one?
Mavi, the
Oh,
Laugh
yeah.
is Hard.
Yeah, that's an interesting title. So it kind of just even got me thinking. You ever have
Yeah,
that
it-
happen where sometimes you see something and it's just so striking you just have to engage with it?
I mean, honestly, I do understand that, especially with this title because it's a play on words almost because it's almost like a saying. It's like a known saying where you say like, "Oh, you laugh so hard it hurts." It's meant to be like a good thing, like, "Oh, you're laughing so hard," but there's a comma put in after the heart where like it changes the whole meaning of the phrase, you know. So that alone, I agree, is definitely kind of like it gains my attention, no question.
Can I jump in real quick?
Isaac, you don't gotta ask. Welcome to the show.
So
You're a nobody like everyone else.
yeah, pretty much. With new albums, even though we're 2 weeks out, we did have an announcement this week for our album dropping on the 28th.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
you want to talk? Which album we talk about?
The Awesome Smino.
Oh yeah, that too. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, wait, Smino announced?
Smino,
Yeah.
October 28th. Love for
I
it?
saw because we were talking about is this gonna happen because we have other Smino related news.
Yeah.
We all got tickets.
Yeah. We all got tickets.
We'll get there. We'll work our way there.
Yeah,
Very, very excited for that though. No,
Yeah.
that might be I'm not gonna say top 5, but at the end of the year, we're gonna do a top 5 hip hop, top 10 just albums. I can see this in my top 10.
absolutely. It's Smino, dude.
No, hell
It's
yeah.
so good. But what I thought you was talking about, Brandon, you brought this up to me as well. Crap.
Somebody else is dropping?
Not this week, coming up.
West Side
Did you
Gun.
see that? There you go.
Yeah, West
But the
Side Gun is
features-
dropping, and
Talk about the features though.
the features are incredible. Easily bringing together some of the greatest groups in hip hop history.
I showed my phone to Isaac and he's like, hold on, give me the phone.
Wait, whoa. Okay.
Yeah, dude, we
I'm
got
looking at the features right now.
first off a Black Star feature. That's
Yo.
the dopest shit all year. That is,
I mean,
the dopest shit all year.
that is the dopest, but you could just go down the list.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm a massive simp for Run the Jewels.
Of course.
Yeah,
Black
yeah.
Star, Run the Jewels.
3 members of Wu Tang.
Killer?
Yeah, 3 members of Wu Tang. Busta Rhymes.
Jesus. Busta
No.
Rhymes?
This is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot.
RZA? Okay, yeah. Okay. I look. Okay, West Side Gunna, for me personally, is just regular entertainment. He's not one of my go-to, but he's a regular entertainment. But the fact that he has all these features, I'm expecting a brand new sound out of him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Like, I kind of fuck with that entire subsector. You know, like the hardcore hip hop, trap,
We've been
like,
talking about that a lot.
the artsy trap stuff. Because I think it's like the coolest thing going on right now.
It is.
Yeah, like that. You know, Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, Freddie Gibbs,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
I think
we
I
talked
think
about
Run the
this
Jewels
before.
is like double kind of in that group. Like,
Yeah, I think they belong in that group.
yeah, like, you know, this very, I call it hip hop that pretends Kanye West didn't happen. Like, like, which is,
I mean, honestly,
which right now, exactly what I need. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Go back and listen to Talent Talk 4. 'Cause
I love Talent
I was
Talk.
like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I love Tana Talk. Did you listen to Only God Forgives or something? I've only listened to it like 2 or 3 times, but it's the West Side Gun. Not West Side Gun, god damn it. Conway the Machine.
I want the machine. I feel like they like take turns releasing.
Yeah. God don't make mistakes.
Okay, I think I
There
did
you
listen
go.
to that.
They've
That was
released
also
so
very
many this year. I'm gonna have to limit like their contributions to my end of the year list. Like,
I mean, honestly, it's gonna be tough.
Do
We
you
still
think?
got a whole
Do you
quarter
think
to
it
go.
could compete with Soul sold separately?
Bro, I was just listening to that today. Bro, the first song when Freddie Gibbs starts singing before Kelly Price,
It's so
that
good.
stuff is hilarious to me, bro. Like the fact that he added that to the song, love it.
They're absolutely like incredible.
But I guess we can jump on to the singles. I'll just fly through them because they're pretty straightforward singles. I'll start off with the easy one. I tried to do some research. Gucci Mane is supposed to be coming out with a single this week. I don't have a title for it, but look, if I could feel like Gucci Mane in 2006, that's all I need in life.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna promote that a little bit. Stormzy is coming out with a single "Hide and Seek." Brandon, do you know who Stormzy is? I'm actually curious.
It sounds super familiar. I think I've heard of it.
British grime hip hop. He's over in
Yeah,
England.
yeah, I've heard of
No.
it. Yeah, for sure.
I haven't heard of him, but
Yeah.
the British UK,
Dude, Grime's legit. It can be legit.
they are going hard right now.
They're going crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm familiar with this. I can't like name any songs like off the top of my head. But
I would
yeah.
definitely dive into it. You never know.
Uh,
More
it-
recently,
I'll give it a whirl.
I've been trying. There is an artist that's just been blowing up like crazy.
Who?
He is out of forget what country. It's a country in Africa. Jesus Christ.
I think I know what you're talking about.
He's huge. It's some with a beat. Burna Boy. Is it Burna Boy?
Yeah,
there you go.
Burner Boy. That's it.
Man,
That is
okay.
it.
Jumping back from Cutland, both the English people like Stormzy, a whole bunch of artists out of England, and also Burna Boy out of Africa. Jesus Christ, they've been blowing up.
Yeah.
Like it's been ridiculous.
Burner Boy has been really hot right now.
So
Yeah.
I need to do a deep dive on like just music outside the U.S. I feel like we don't listen to it enough.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something I want to expand my.
Mhm.
Yeah, one thing though, it does seem like to a degree that because hip hop is like such a reflection of like let's call a spade, the Black American experience. Sometimes I feel like stuff that takes hip hop influence from other countries just misses it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mainly because like the friend group I have, I've been mostly exposed to like hip hop esque stuff that comes out of Asia, and it just
Mhm.
it just always it rubs me like just a little bit wrong.
I just feel like in general, like I don't know, America just has this, and not to get too political, but America has this like I don't want to call it like a bias or something, but something built in like a stigma where they just think other countries aren't as good, so we're blocked off of so much
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
called
we're all
pride.
Right.
brainwashed in the shit. Yeah,
Like
It's called pride.
Yeah.
and like we do it with sports, we do it with everything, and so
Yeah.
just like in general with music, there's so much music out there that people don't realize. You just got to get into it.
yeah, I agree with that.
But going off of Stormzy, on to the next one, which is probably the biggest one. Now, we talked about this recently in terms of one of our episodes, speaking about post-humanist albums and music and things like that. Juice World and, well, I don't know whose song it is. It's Juice World and Marshmello is coming out with a single called Bye Bye.
Yeah,
Are we getting to that point? Is it? Do we need to
we
let Juice WRLD go?
absolutely are. I feel like we've passed it with Juice World a while
Yeah.
ago. You know,
Yeah,
I definitely think Juice World has albums that were released posthumously that were done well, that were like should have came out, but we are well past that point.
So let me ask a question. Say for instance, you're an artist that was Juice WRLD was like really, really blowing up before he died.
He was just getting started.
Yeah.
So really, he was. He was
Yeah, he
getting
really was.
started in his career.
And also,
What
like,
if-
I also think he was creatively like just doing really dope shit.
He was.
Yeah.
So here's my question: if you're someone that's just blowing up and everyone's hitting you up before you die, everyone calls you in and you literally do a song with everyone and then you die. Imagine if you did 15 songs. Does everyone put that in a vault or do you release it?
No, but like, I agree that like there's gonna be like examples like that it's pretty clear that you should still release that music. Where I think we start getting into gray areas is like what happened, what's probably happening with this, but like what we know happened with like that Michael Jackson feature on Scorpion, where like it was just some unused verse in a vault somewhere, probably never meant to see the light of day.
Literally in a vault somewhere.
Because I mean,
and like I'm thinking this is probably that. So like if it's the situation where like he was blowing up, he probably worked with a bunch of people. I know like I remember hearing about on the Eminem album that came out with Godzilla that has him on. Like he did that in the studio with Eminem, and
some albums take time.
Yeah, and Juice WRLD passed like before the album release.
Because think about it, we waited 5 years for a Kendrick album.
Yeah.
Just imagine if one of Kendrick's first song was just like, "I'm gonna have Juice WRLD on it."
Well, another thing to take into consideration, I think there's 2 points. One, this is a single, not an album.
True.
So this could have came out
a long time
ago.
The
day after he died, back in 2019. It could have came out now. 2, which I think is more important, this is not confirmed that he did it with Marshmello. It's not like he did this before passing away. This could be just a verse that Marshmello bought.
That's true, because Marshmello, his whole career like DJing is remixing songs. So this could be something he took old and just flipped with.
Yeah. And Marshmello was on Legends Never Die and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, right.
So like he's been really working with Juice WRLD. He also has a bunch of songs with Lil Peep from after he died.
Yeah.
Did it ever come out?
Yeah, no, like they're singles.
There's one song that I feel like, you really milked Juice WRLD after his death, and that was DJ Khaled's song.
Yeah,
that's the sad part. It was a good song.
I really like the song, but you can tell like you don't have a verse. It's just a hook.
It was literally just a Juice WRLD song. It was his song.
Yeah.
And DJ Khaled just took it, put the DJ Khaled intro, and then Juice WRLD went off.
It was, and I really enjoyed the song.
Man, you just brought up a good point. That was so annoying. Besides that, DJ Khaled album actually was better than
that. Was one of his better albums in years.
Brandon, did you actually listen to it?
Absolutely
I know we
not.
talking about.
No, I don't think about DJ Khaled when people aren't talking to me about DJ Khaled.
On your way to work one day, just waste your time. Okay, Brandon, how do you get to work? You drive or you take the plane?
I take the bus.
The bus? Oh my God, the perfect time. You're just riding. You're just driving.
Yeah.
You're not driving.
Yeah.
Sitting on the bus, wasting time.
Yeah.
Just turn it on and just fight through it.
How long is
this?
it?
This is probably his better one, and that's sad to say.
How long is it though? Like that's a big factor.
It's an hour. I'll be honest.
Because I'm on the bus for 20 minutes. So like if I could listen to it in the ride on the bus, okay.
Break it down. Break it down between days.
On your way to work and on your way home.
Okay.
It's one of his better ones.
Here's the thing. Brandon
acting like I don't listen to music 6 out of my 8 hours in office.
Brandon does not listen to music before noon. He's told me this multiple times.
Wait.
No,
so how do you start You've never started your morning just listening?
Oh no, I totally do. I don't remember when I said that.
I was about to say.
I don't remember. You texted me. You was like, "Yeah, nah, I don't listen to music till like later in the day," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, wait.
Now I do have a habit where a lot of the times in the morning, like the first thing I do listen to, like when I walk out my door, is there's like a local news podcast that drops every morning at 6:30, like for your commute, and like I listen to that. Like I listen to a lot more podcasts in the morning, but it's not like I never listen to music or I have like some kind of thing. But I do typically listen to more podcasts in the morning.
I'm gonna go slightly off the rails a little bit.
Here we go.
Okay.
Hands
so
up.
if anyone didn't know, my brother and I are African American, Black. However the hell you want to name us, we're human beings. Fuck titles. Anywho,
here we go.
And Brandon, if I'm not mistaken, you're Hispanic, right?
Yeah.
Mix. Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. both African American and Hispanic people, growing up on the weekends, usually when your mom wakes up, they're cleaning and there's music playing.
Oh, loud ass music.
Now,
yeah, loud
we
ass
did. Now,
music.
look, we did grow up in a Christian household, so it might have been gospel playing. But for the most part, you should be used to waking up in the morning and listening to music. And hearing music.
No, definitely. I think that's why, because like. I think I'm trying to escape that. I'm trying to end the vicious cycle. Although, like, I absolutely cannot clean my house and listen to the podcast. I have to have very loud music. Yeah,
it's gotta be music. It's gotta be music.
Yeah. Although, unlike growing up, it's not in Spanish. I mean, sometimes it is, but like 10% of the time.
No, I got you. Look, before you know it, you're gonna have kids. You're gonna be playing music in the morning. It's gonna happen quick, man.
Jesus Christ!
It's gonna come up on you.
Be with those kids, like y'all, like Freddie Gibbs.
Well, I guess moving on, then jumping into the actual news.
Wait! I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. There's a single coming out tomorrow, isn't it?
Which other single?
Isn't Doechii dropping a song tomorrow called "Stressed"?
Really? I'll find out right now.
Yeah, the unpaid nobodies definitely pay attention to female artists.
I believe it's called Stressed.
I hope she does. Oh,
I'm on her Instagram right now.
Oh, it came out like 2 days ago.
Okay, it came out this week then. Okay.
That's why I haven't seen it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
it debuted. Oh, remember that Color show we talked about in that episode about like?
Yes, sir.
It debuted on Colors. I remember seeing that actually. I didn't listen to it yet.
I did see this, yes.
But no, I saw that, yeah. Yeah, no, I was aware of this. I did not know it was a new single, but...
Look, my excuse is that it didn't release on a Friday.
Yeah.
Those middle of the week things will throw you off.
It throws me off. Hey, but I'm going to definitely dive a little bit deeper.
The middle of the week, that's for Frank Ocean. Like...
Literally, that's it. Exclusively Frank Ocean.
So how do you expect me to get up for work the next day if I don't have a good cry?
Look, driving at night with some Frank Ocean, it heals everything you need.
Yeah.
But going into the actual news, then I have a problem, Brandon.
Here we go.
And I hate it when this happens.
Here we go.
I feel like I'm more passionate because this is one of my angel childs.
I know this is your golden boy.
I know this is one of my golden boys. Travis Scott is performing at Bronny, who, if you don't know, is little Bron or LeBron James' oldest son.
Yeah.
He had a birthday party and Travis Scott is performing there.
Yeah.
Brandon, I'm very against this. I'm going to be honest.
Why?
I am so against this just because, like, I don't like the idea of artists performing at very small venues out of favors. I feel like an idea of a live performance is supposed to be like this holistic, unique experience that like it's like, you know, the video that you showed me earlier this week on TikTok, Brandon, where the lady was talking about how punk rap just feels different now.
Yeah. About how this lady talking about like how all these reunion tours like has punk feeling very different now.
It just feels off. Like you have Blink 182 having these broad, massive, like arena-sized concerts, and like it just goes against
like
the
who
culture.
They are. Yeah,
like what it is.
Yeah, like Blink 182 was music meant to be played like in a dried pool for teenagers, not
exactly
in an arena. Yeah,
so
there is like dissonance between like Travis Scott, this guy who makes music that's supposed to be played in stadiums, performing in someone's living room.
Exactly.
My one thing is that like. So if this was like Travis Scott performing at like the kids of some like CEO who I've never heard of, like some ultra rich goblin person,
like Playboy Cardi did with the Jewish kid, yes,
yeah, like that, it'd be like, okay, you're just buying access to a celebrity, which like to be fair, that's what they're selling, but like yeah, I get why that's like kind of dicey and some people don't like it. This though, I don't know. Maybe just because like I feel like LeBron James is like
accepted in the culture.
Almost, yeah. He's like in the culture.
Okay, that is fair. I will give you that.
You know, all right. This could totally be misconstrued, like viewed as almost like a professional courtesy. Like,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Owed
Let
him a
me.
favor.
All right, Purvis.
Okay.
Let me throw you a situation then. Say for instance, 5 years from now, podcast blows up, which it will.
thanks for believing in us.
You guys become friends with Frank Ocean. He comes on for a show. Hold on, wait. You finally get married. And he says, Frank Ocean, Daniel Caesar, whoever. Hey, as a favor, I will sing at your wedding. Will you tell him no?
Man.
Exactly.
Yeah, he got you. That was
Yeah.
First off, I don't think there is.
I'm not gonna say no.
They're friends.
It's not on LeBron. This is more on Travis Scott.
Travis Scott
Yeah.
and LeBron are friends.
I wouldn't expect Frank Ocean to be like, okay,
Yeah,
let me perform at your wedding. Then I would
But
be like,
I'm
hold on,
saying,
what's going on? But
if
yes,
it's
I
a
would say
friend,
yes.
if it's a friend, you say yes.
Now we gotta think: is Travis Scott really friends with LeBron?
I
definitely
definitely thinks he wants people to think he is.
Yes.
That is
We
fair.
all wait.
That is
James
fair.
Harden.
That is fair.
He is really good friends with James Harden.
Literally, James Harden and KD be showing up at
James Harden and Kevin Durant. So why not LeBron?
Yeah,
You
no,
make a good point. You do make a good
yeah. No, I definitely see like the phenomenon you're talking about, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies. But this one doesn't set off the alarm.
Okay, this one is passable.
Yeah,
Well, you know what should set off your alarm? We've already brought it up.
yeah. The
Kanye West Reddit is in shambles, right?
dude, everything's in shambles. Like,
How much copium can you take?
I don't know, man. It's hard. It is hard. Like,
So the most recent stuff, you know, he was at Candace Parker's, what's it called?
Is
The
Candace
release
Yeah.
debut or
who's
something?
Candace Parker? Is
Not Candace Parker.
Not Candace.
Candace Owens?
Owens.
Candace
I'm
Owens.
so
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm about to
Do
say,
not
come
let
on.
me get that confused.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Candace Parker. That was a TV show from the 90s.
We like
I
that.
was like, okay, is this a different thing? Like, but yeah,
No.
Candace Owens.
Candace Owens, most dishonest person on the internet. Like,
Yes, she has had a release. I don't know what the term is for movie releases, but premiere. He was at the premiere for her Lies Against Black Lives Matter organization or whatever. Who cares? He was there. Some other celebrities. Is there any? Because we kind of talked about this a little bit, but we didn't have Isaac on last time. Is there anything Kanye can do that really is gonna make like the community be like, nah, we're done? Like just turn off the music.
I think we're getting there.
He's pushing.
I think no,
Okay.
this personally was like the breaking point for me, and like I think it's going to be the breaking point for the culture. I
Okay.
really do. Like, especially like with the. Remember we talked last week about how he was on Tucker Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
apparently,
did watch the highlights.
yeah. I mean, first off, you shouldn't. Tucker Carlson's a piece of shit.
I didn't give him the views, to be fair.
Yeah. But so apparently they edited out like a bunch of like wild shit he said, and it
Yeah.
was so bad someone leaked it. Although my favorite part is like when he tries to bait him on the vaccine and he just doesn't take it. Like that's what that part was funny. Like,
All the highlights that I saw made him seem like this nigga is off the deep end completely.
I think there's, and then when you the tweet heard around the world.
DEFCON 3.
Yeah.
Who
So-
thinks I'm gonna say
Brandon-
that? Who thinks like I'm gonna say that?
I'm gonna say.
I will say this. The three of us, I feel like we are. This is gonna sound so bad. People who have some level of intelligence.
Yeah. No, I'm a big old smarty.
So
Does have a master's degree.
with that, I mean, yeah. So you have your masters. I have my masters.
I'll be done in December.
Purvis will be done in December. By the end of December, all three of us will have our masters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine's a
so with that-
Fugazi Masters, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Slight
a
flex.
it's-
Slow flex.
it's a piece of paper. But anywho,
Yeah, it's
I follow
that.
instructions in school. That's what I can do.
hire me, I can follow instructions. I swear to God, I can follow instructions.
It's like I
But
have a
we're-
job. Like
we're off topic. Where I'm going with this, all of us, I feel like, can agree. Years ago, no matter what Kanye dropped, we're listening to whatever he did, we're going to participate in. We all also agree, dude, you are tweaking beyond a point of return.
Yeah.
So for the three of us, we're almost like, we're borderline. Well, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm borderline
I'm getting there.
of like, bro, I can't do it anymore. But I will say this, the newer generation, they don't give a crap about anything. We see some of the stuff that they do. We see some of these dumbass videos and stuff of pranks and stuff that they try to do. We see and hear some of the music that they think is hot. Like I just came from basketball practice. I coach a basketball team. Literally before practice started, we had a conversation about music. And the kids asked me, "Hey coach, who's your two favorite artists right now?" I said, "Well, if I had to name two people, probably J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar." J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar.
Easy answers, yeah.
Easy air. So then they're naming people. Half of them I know. The other half, who the hell are these people? I'm like, all right, somebody grab
young boy.
Somebody grab their phone and let me hear a song. And I'm like, how do you listen to this? And so,
yeah.
With that being said, Kanye West has this lock over the young culture. I will give commends to Kanye West. You have somehow been able to tackle every era since you came out.
Yeah, that's true.
You've been important for every era you came out, which is very rare.
The nigga won't go.
That's what I'm saying. He won't go away.
Won't go away.
And so you have these new generation kids that will continue to buy his clothes, continue to listen to his music, no matter what he says, because a lot of stuff that he says that irritate, I would say, African Americans in general, is like, bro, do you not know the struggle we went through? Some of these new kids don't even know what the Tesla massacre was.
Yeah, they don't know nothing.
They don't know anything about the Red Wing pilots.
Nothing. Literally nothing.
Literally.
You talk about like slavery was a choice, but they don't even grasp.
What
slavery even means.
So they're just like, oh, Kanye West is saying something. I'm still going to listen to the man.
But like,
so the new generation will keep him alive.
I would also just want to point out, because I agree with you 100%. I think you have said everything correct. But also they're kids and they've been given a very... the only thing they know is the shit they teach them in public schools, which aren't great.
Fact.
You know, like internet. You know and the internet with a teenager's maturity towards the internet, right?
Exactly.
Right.
So, understanding of a maturity.
Exactly. Yeah, like look, like once you go to college and you learn how to critically think and shit, like you can learn a lot off the internet. I think that's actually valid, but not a teenager isn't though.
You don't really develop your brain to 25.
On one hand, though, it's almost like I don't want to play into the same because like they said that when I was 18 about Waka Flocka, like, you know, and like
they did say that,
you know, like,
I had Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap.
Yeah, we had a Chief Keef. We had 6ix9ine, which I think they might have been right that time. But like,
he didn't miss on that one. He is definitely not influential anymore. J. Cole called that to the T.
Yeah, he did.
Him and Kanye.
And look, let me ask a question, and y'all be honest. If the man drop another album, you're gonna listen, right?
Yes.
I mean, probably. I'm gonna say probably.
Brandon, we gonna have to listen. We own a hip hop podcast. We gonna at least have to listen.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, when you put it that way, like when you draw my attention to the podcast that I'm currently recording.
We have to.
Yeah, he said crazy stuff before Donda dropped.
I disagree with that. No, I'm calling bullshit on that because I remember saying after the 2018 Kid See Ghost and Ye like dropped. That was when he started doing the Trump thing the first time around, right? Which like, look, I am an enemy of like Trumpism. but I don't think it's equivalent to what he's doing now. I think like what he's saying now is much, much worse.
Well, let me ask you a question.
And Donda, I thought he was very quiet, like shockingly quiet until the Pete Davidson.
We talked about that, at least in terms of politics.
Yeah, in terms of politics specific.
Just like when
during
Donda
like the rollout, like when he was in the stadium and everything, he was like,
wait, all right, time out then.
It was the Ye release that he was very political. That's when he said the slavery was a choice thing.
Right.
When he said slavery was a choice, that was before Donda, right?
That was
that was like in 2018.
Okay, let's use that for example. When did Ye come out?
Yeah, that was like in 2018. But like
2018,
right
before. All right. Yeah,
and I still listen to Ye and Kid See Ghosts.
Okay, let's say this. Forget about the Trump part. If he's made that comment in 2018, let's also think about how he said slavery was a choice. As an African American man, for you to tell me slavery was a choice and I still listen to Donda, you telling me this year you went in on Black Lives Matter? Give me another 2 to 3 years and you drop another CD, I'm probably gonna listen to the shit.
That's influence.
That's actually a really valid point. I never could.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I think like when I think about 2018 Kanye rant, I think of the Trump stuff, and I specifically think of like the reaction to it by like a lot of like what I would call whiny white liberals who are like how like comparing like Kanye like advocating for Trump, which I think is bad, to like Michael Jackson and R. Kelly, and I'm like, no, those are not the same thing. And it's genuinely fucked up that you're saying that about a mentally ill black man, like from your place, like you shouldn't do that. But yeah, no, the slavery is a choice thing was definitely different. You're right.
Yeah, and like, look, we got to remember, most artistic geniuses are half crazy. We can go through history and look at different situations.
Yes, Mozart. But I can also but I also could say that there are a lot of people who we would call crazy who don't say such vile anti-Semitic shit.
This is true.
That is very,
like there are plenty of crazy people who don't go anywhere near that.
You just made up a really good point because there is a tweet that came out by John Legend that I really held on to. He said, why is it that every independent free thinker somehow along the lines, one hate black people, one hate Jews? It's every all, single time.
It's all because
it always lines up and it doesn't make sense.
It's a phenomenon. It absolutely is, and like
it is.
I think
it's difficult putting one of your favorite artists in that circle. Like, damn.
So like, do you want to hear my conspiracy theory brain? Like,
all right, go on.
I have a theory about this. Okay, so it's like the reason why like all the the reason why we perceive like all free thinkers wind up like being anti-Semitic and racist and shit like that is because like that shit is baked into like the systems that are in play right now, like in our government and in our society. Mm-hmm. So when they do that, they don't threaten the status quo. When real independent thinkers happen, like Abby Hoffman, they're censored. And if they're black, like Fred Hampton, they're murdered. Like,
yeah.
Like, if someone's actually, like, free thinking and black, they're, like, usually killed by the government. Like,
we can go down a very long list.
Like... And maybe it's my conspiracy brain, but that's what I think.
I follow. I do follow. But
we gave this man too much time.
Yeah. But we got big news about killer content coming in 6 months. Purvis, you want to drop that shit?
Yeah. Let's switch over to really good news.
Yes.
Jid and Smino, or JID and Smino, whatever you want to say it.
I call it Jid.
Yeah. Bro,
anyone who says JID, I'm gonna throw a rock at you. Like,
yeah, it's definitely Jid.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Bro, like when you sent this, okay, first off, the tour that was leaked did not include Chicago, I was
Pissed.
pissed.
Dude, we were so mad.
Pissed.
I was like low key though. I'm like, we could drive to Milwaukee. That was my.
Bro, I already considered it. I was like, no,
I'm
Madison only like 3
I'm like,
I
I'm like, Purvis is gonna buy my ticket. I could easily just pay for his gas in Milwaukee. Like
it's no question.
But for Sminu to represent us so hard,
that's why I was like, there's no way. I'm like,
bro,
there's no way. And
right, but it actually came out. They are coming to Chicago March 21st. I'm pretty sure all three of us got it.
Yeah, I got tickets. I got a ticket.
Oh, cool. Absolutely. Yeah.
I am so excited.
One of our cousins got a ticket.
I'm so excited.
We're gonna have to hype up our appearance. Like we're gonna do like a little unpaid nobody's meet and greet. So if you're listening to the show, go to the Jid.
I'm letting you guys know right now. I will be buying the three of us shirts with the logo in the front and a QR code in the back.
No, I'm gonna be working with a friend of mine who's like a professional designer, and we're gonna be making something.
Perfect.
Yeah,
we will not drop the ball like we did.
We're gonna prepare. We're gonna be
stickers. We're gonna have QR stickers. We're gonna slap on the bathroom stalls.
Yeah, no, we got 6. Well, like to be fair, we got 6 months to prepare for this, and we had like.
That is very true.
We had 2 weeks for J. Cole and a day for Lollapalooza.
And a day for Lolla.
There's no reason to drop the ball this time.
Yeah, no, we got 6 months. Yeah, it's gonna be a thing. So we're gonna do that, and I think we're gonna come do a special episode right after.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Yeah. I am freaking excited.
And it's at my favorite venue, like a mile from my front door. It's a 20-minute walk.
I've never been to that venue.
Dude, I've
never been to that venue.
Aragon Ballroom is clutch.
All I know is I got a ticket for my wife. I have a saved list of 125 restaurants on my phone to check out that's in the city of Chicago. There's one that's literally down the street.
What's it called?
And it's sushi. I'll tell you right now.
Okay,
I believe it's sushi. But all I know is if I could get my wife to take half a day, I'll take the day off, whatever the case might be.
Take the whole day.
We're going to get food. It's literally down the block. We're going to get food, and then we're going to go to the concert. Where's the concert again?
Aragon Ballroom. It's in Uptown.
It might call
Aragon Entertainment Center?
Yeah. Is it Agami?
No, it's
San.
Oh no, talking about the restaurant. Sorry.
San Wu Barbecue.
Oh, okay. The restaurant. Jesus Christ.
That's the name of the restaurant.
Yeah.
That's down. Literally, it's like down the street.
Yeah.
I told my wife we're gonna get something to eat, and then we're gonna go to the concert.
Purvis, if you want to come here and.
Yep, pregame.
Yeah, we can pregame, stuff our shoes with drugs.
And
we can take the Clark bus up in 20 minutes.
So March 21st falls on a
Tuesday.
I think it's
a Tuesday.
Yep. Now I'm gonna call the whole day off.
It is.
I'm taking the day and the day after off. Like
Tuesday and Wednesday, just gonna have to. They gonna have to do it.
No, I'm taking Tuesday and Wednesday off.
I was about to say, they gonna have to survive without me. JP Morgan, you're good.
I'm like, yeah.
Funny that you mentioned it. JP Morgan dropped Kanye.
There we
you
go.
know that, White?
Yep. Cut off all his funds.
Yeah, let's not go back to Kanye. Let's not go back to Kanye.
Then what we can do now? I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little disconnected. I haven't had the strongest connection to Chicago growing up because I was in the suburbs. John Watt Day is coming out November 26th. Can one of you explain everything?
Brandon, you want to go or you want me to go?
No, you go because I don't know who John Watt is either. I'm from Melrose Park, which is like.
So this is perfect. I will be taking my wife for her birthday. Her birthday is the 27th of November. They have been doing, I would like to say, a home concert for the past maybe 5 years. It never fails. Saba and his crew.
Oh, thing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, their name of what's the name of the group again?
No, I know this.
Was it Ghetto Sage?
I know this. This is gonna kill me.
My wife will kick my ass right now because she's a Saba fan, and even though I put her on Saba, So Saba and some of his friends, they have a group together.
Way I missed this.
Is there the one? Is that the one with Saba, No Name, and
We
Smino?
talked about Pivot Game.
Pivot Game. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Pivot Game. For the past 5, maybe 6 years, Pivot Game every year around Thanksgiving without fail has a concert here in Chicago without fail. And my wife has been wanting to go every year. And because of certain situations, we never made it. I am vowing right now I will be taking my wife to this concert. I would say this. If you are a Chicago native, you love good music, you enjoy Saba, you need to be there. This is an annual thing that they do every year. And as soon as this popped up, before my brother and I even talked about it, she had already sent me a screenshot. She was like, I've called off every year missing this thing off. We are going this year. So no matter what, we're going. It's going to be awesome. Pretty much it's like Pivot Game. It's going to be amazing. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay.
And for me personally, for a West Sider, yeah, this is dope.
Yeah. Yeah, because Pivot Game's from the Austin neighborhood, right? Which is, half mile from where I grew up.
Yep.
I mean, November 26th is going to fall on a Saturday, Brandon. We might just end up going.
I might end up going, yeah.
My wife and I will be there.
Hey, bet. I will definitely dive a little bit deeper into this. I've listened to Pivot Game's recent album. It is phenomenal. Besides that, Saba's been on the list for a while.
Yes.
But I don't know if I've ever seen anything or heard anything about the other members. Let me say that.
You know what Pivot Game reminds me of, and this might, I don't know if it's a good example. Who's the group that we were just talking about on Instagram this week with
Kids These Days?
Kids These Days.
Dude, I remember when Kids These Days won that contest with Lil Wayne and Mountain Dew.
Yep.
I bought that album. I was such a huge fan.
Yep. And so with Pivot Game, think of Kids These Days. Kids These Days, you think of Vic and Chance. With Pivot Game, you think of Saba. But there are extremely talented people that are in the group that just need to just break off on their own.
Yeah. Like Donnie Trumpet, too.
Hey, I'm fully in for it because I know Saba already made a career for himself. Whoever else is in this, like I said, I listened to the album. I'm pretty sure I saved most of it. I'll be diving into this. No question.
Yeah, me too.
But jumping off of Pivot Game.
Yeah, we'll do this one real quick because this was fun. One
of the more, I guess we're kind of making our way into the actual topic of the podcast. We had Tony Hawk giving
Kid Cudi skateboard lessons.
One of the classic white people that's mentioned that's accepted by the black community.
He's invited to the barbecue.
Oh yeah, Tony Hawk is one of the best.
Yo, he gave lessons to Kid Cudi on skateboarding, and
it's only fitting.
It's only fitting for the episode. Brandon,
without further delay, we're at the after some egregious cutting. We're at the
egregious cutting.
Yeah, we're at the main topic. We had a. You call it like a multimedia project? Kid Cudi dropped Entergalatic. It's a movie, but also an album. But the album is not like a soundtrack to the movie, except when it is.
Debatable. We'll get to it. I mean, a multimedia release is a great way to put it. We got some visual effects, some audio effects. I think what would be best would just be jumping right into the Netflix special.
Yeah, let's talk about the movie.
Brandon, you saw this before me. What are your thoughts?
So, I liked it like a lot actually.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that kind of set off some red flags is I could have sworn that this was supposed to be a series.
Yes,
I had the same reaction.
I think everyone thought that.
And I wonder if they had like a very boring 8-episode series. and they cut
Well-
it into a real good like 90-minute movie. Like,
So, like the movie special, it had multiple chapters.
yeah,
And so I'm wondering if each chapter was supposed to be an episode, and they kind of thought there's not enough for each chapter to be an episode. So
Yeah.
let's just put it all together.
yeah, because
Now, what's interesting, if you are saying it should have been cut, that sounds like a very difficult task for editing in terms of,
it's
animation.
not something I've ever. It's not like unheard of to like cut things that were like meant to be released like as a TV show. They cut it into a movie, or the opposite way. Like The Sopranos. Originally, the first episode was supposed to be a movie, but they ran out of money halfway through and they cut it into a pilot.
Yeah.
And,
Interesting.
yeah.
I wouldn't even know that.
I mean, Disney just announced one of their upcoming shows, Armor Wars.
Oh,
was
yeah.
supposed to be a Disney Plus show, and now it's going to be a movie.
Yeah. Now, what
Because
I
they said it was too much information
Yeah.
that's going to be in there for it to be a TV show.
Yeah,
You got to do a movie.
And I also think like right now, like kind of getting into the movie industry a bit, I think releases are really fluid right now. You see a lot of stuff coming straight to home. Like
Right.
this is much higher quality than any like straight to home music adjacent release you'd ever get like 10 years ago.
It's very true. It's very true.
And I think what's ironic because I definitely think like the idea that it's chapters, like, and those chapters could have been episodes. That definitely makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I think the story, like, just like on a purely story level, like if you just like had the screenplay for it, I think it's a fairly standard romantic comedy, a good one, an especially good one. But yeah, like an especially good romantic comedy. Like I really don't think it's like anything too crazy, except like on the way it's executed because it's animated. And one, I think like just bringing like a story like a romantic comedy, something a little bit more down to earth in animation, I think that's really cool. And I think the visuals are just excellent. I don't know if they're like tippity top tier, but I got zero complaints.
I had a question now that you mentioned that. In terms of rating this quality, if you're saying it's tippity top tier or not, one thing that we have talked about constantly on this podcast, and it's just kind of ingrained into the culture now, I feel like the standard in terms of an A-tier animation is Spider-Man, the multiverse.
Oh, yeah, that's...
This is
How do you compare this? Do you think it's better or worse?
See, that's tough because you're trying to compare it. For me personally, someone that's a comic book fan.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
It's tough because you look at the animation. The animation is so similar, but sometimes the story can alter your judgment of how well it was done.
And the other thing is that, like, you know, I think on an animation level, there's some similarities, like aesthetically, but on a story level, they're so different. Like, this is like me and my girl watched it, and we kind of talked about like how this could have been live action, except for like the trippy visuals that really do seem to sell the story and give it some soul. So like,
and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Purvis, your thoughts?
Say that one more time.
So going into it, what I would say, I listened to the album first before I saw the show.
Yeah, that was probably a mistake.
Yeah, it was.
It was a mistake.
Yeah, I definitely think the movie was stronger.
Definitely.
The movie was very much stronger. I will get to my review of the album later, obviously. So I'll hold off on those comments. But in terms of the movie itself, so I'll focus on the animation piece and the story. That was fantastic. Honestly did.
Yeah.
Writing.
It's not like this innovative piece of storytelling. It's a romantic comedy, but it's a really, really well done one.
It's a rom-com.
Yeah, and it's
rom-com.
And it speaks to a generation that doesn't have rom-coms. They've fallen so you know,
man, you don't have many nowadays.
And I'm a sucker for rom-com.
As a creative professional living in the city and dating a witchy black girl, it's like, oh, this is for me. Like,
This is me.
Yeah, right.
yeah, like
I feel that.
Anything else, Purvis?
I mean, like I said, going into it, I do regret listening to the album first. I think the animation, focus on animation by itself.
yeah,
I thought it was phenomenal. I honestly do put it at the same tier as Spider-Man: The Multiverse. A lot of visual effects that they added into the animation was really nice in my opinion.
yeah. So like,
The trippy parts.
yeah,
Like
so
I was sober listening to this, and like
Yeah.
I was like, "This is really good."
yeah, no, I was not, but yeah, apart from like the actual animation, the visual storytelling of it is really cool. They use the form to its advantage. Like the
Yeah.
scene where they're in the restaurant and the fan is going by the camera, and for like one, when they talk about Mr. Rager, he turns into Mr. Rager
Yep.
for like one, like
So
just
nice.
that
couple
kind of
frames.
Yeah.
that
frames.
yeah, that visual storytelling of it is really, really effective.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I honestly think like having that combined with such a down to earth drama made it like really unique.
Yeah.
It was very relatable. When you say down to earth, that's one thing that really did stand out. Just like what he does habitually on a day-to-day basis, how he handles his life, how he interacts with women in general.
Yeah.
It's a very personalized kind of visual effect and movie that you can like legitimately, a lot of rom-coms, like you said, it's not many nowadays anyway, but back in the day that was created in 2000s, it was unrealistic. Not unrealistic, but like I don't personal experience.
They were very broad characters, you know. They were very where these ones, you know, like you see like that Kid Cudi's character is kind of a fuckboy and like he's flawed. Like he's not like he's a good dude and we cheer for him, but like
was he a fuckboy?
Yeah, I think in the beginning I think the movie is ultimately about him rejecting that kind of lifestyle. So it's kind of hard for that to be the point.
Interesting.
Okay, I'll say
it's kind of hard for him for that to be like what the movie's about and have him not be that to a bit.
Okay, well, both of you all gave your points in the movie.
Yeah,
I'll give mine. I'll give mine. I would not label him a fuckboy solely because the movie starts off, he's single. He bumped into his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
He bumped into her. He didn't go find her.
He did bump into her.
He bumped into her.
He bumped into him.
Matter of fact, she said, reach out to me. He was like, all right, cool. We'll hang out. Had a one-night situation with an ex. That doesn't make you a fuckboy. That doesn't make you a fuckboy.
That makes you question what's the definition of a fuckboy.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what's interesting because like
exactly.
It's human, and that's the thing, right? Like it was
a human situation.
Like for me, if I bump into my ex and then we smash in 2 nights later,
it wasn't 2 nights later. It was the same night.
Yeah,
that's even worse.
When they went out, it was the same night. But then this is why I say he's not.
And then you wake up and be like, I'm thinking about it now. I don't want to do this.
No. This is why. 2 reasons why I would not claim him as a fuckboy. One, he was honest. As soon as he woke up, he was honest from the get-go.
As soon as he was come see my mom.
Bro, think about it. They were smoking and drinking the whole night prior. He wakes up and he was honest from the get-go. She was like, you finna get in the shower? He was like, look, we need to talk. This was a mistake. He was honest from the get-go. He didn't drag his ex along. And then with his new girl,
he even got closure with that.
He got his new girl, and then he didn't run back to the ex at all for anything. All they had was the one situation. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody that didn't see it.
Oh, but there's spoilers. Yeah,
warning.
Yeah, you're watching an episode of a podcast about something. Fuck off. Like
spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So he went pretty much to go. I'll say this. He went to help his ex-girlfriend with a situation.
It was a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding, non-sexual.
Yeah.
But
questionable.
And so I wouldn't label him as fuckboy. But for my opinion of the movie as a whole, Graphic wise, fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Like you said, you compared it to Into the Spider-Verse. It was a great comparison.
Yeah.
I love that type of graphic work.
Yeah.
Besides the graphic
excellently
work,
animated.
yeah. Besides that, the story, I love rom-coms. It wasn't a lot of comedy. I feel like it was just the right amount of comedy. I'll say that. Yeah. Now, the two things that really grabbed my attention the most was how they depicted New York. Because I've never been to New York. That's on my list of places to go to. They made New York look amazing. Yeah, like I've always heard. Yeah, I've heard two different sides of New York.
My trip to New York was nice.
Everyone tells me, "Oh, New York is dirty and people are rude," but then I also hear New York is like the arts.
It's the biggest city in the world. Like, yeah,
it's one of the biggest cities in the world. Music, art, fashion, you name it.
It's massive and it plays into the culture.
Exactly.
When I went for my business trip, I felt it. I was only there for 2 days.
It's pace. It's boom, 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 boom. So I would love to visit New York. So I love how they did that.
Yeah, and I love when the location becomes like a character.
Oh yeah, they definitely, because there was moments where they panned out and just showed like the high rises. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yo, that view was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for a cityscape.
Oh, hell yeah. And so the second part that I really enjoyed was, yo, this was a movie for the culture.
It was, sir.
I don't know if you guys noticed, I noticed. Every time he changed shoes, they had a scene where they zoomed in on the shoes. And I was shocked as fuck to see him wearing Yeezy.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
That's evidence of the long pipeline for animation.
Exactly. Clearly, this was in the works before their fight.
Oh yeah, he announced this like in what, like 2019 or something?
Yeah, it was a while ago before the fight. Even
it was like years. I was still working at Best Buy when he announced it.
At the Blue Store.
Yeah, I don't care.
We can say it now. Close down.
They're back open as a open box location. But anywho, but even that, and when the movie started, within the first 10 minutes, he had a statue of the bear, the Calls Bear statue. Yeah. I'm like, bro, there's nothing but hip hop all through this
Virgil tribute at
the end. The Virgil tribute was amazing. And so this movie, all in all, okay, I watched the movie twice. When I first watched the movie, without giving a 1 to 10 rating, I would have given it a C+, B-. The second time I watched it, I would have gave it a high B+. So the movie was amazing. Fucking his best friend, Ty Dolla Sign. Ty Dolla Sign, he did an amazing job.
Oh my god. The gap between how good he was and how good I expected him to be, massive.
Yes, huge. It was huge.
Massive.
I mean,
and like the other one was Timothy Chalamet, like a legitimate movie star.
And they had actually a lot of features in it, which was
a lot of like little cameos.
Yeah, it was a lot of cameos, which was extremely dope. They had Jaden Smith in there. A lot of people don't like Jaden Smith. I like Jaden Smith.
Oh yeah, no, I like the Jaden Smith cameo.
Yeah. So hey, all in all, definitely a B+ for the movie.
What do we think about Jessica Williams, the actress who played the Meadow, the main?
Oh, she did good. She did. I loved it.
I'm a huge fan of Jessica Williams.
I love it.
She is incredibly talented.
Yeah, to be honest, to me, her animated character Meadow, they look alike almost.
Yeah,
in a weird way. Like they almost actually every character that if you look at them, they almost look like the live action person.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the balance they struck between being really abstract and like trippy and being so down to earth was really well done.
Yeah.
I should ask them, Brandon, since we have been going on about this, I want to ask, what are your negatives? Like, where do you see an opportunity to improve?
Oh, I just think, like, the thing is that it's just, it's kind of like the album, like the negatives are built right into the strengths, and that is that it's it's an especially good romantic comedy, but it is like kind of a generic romantic comedy.
It
And
was,
yeah,
yeah.
like
Very predictable. We
that's the
we've
thing. Like
seen the story time and time again.
yeah, yeah. It's just I just don't think it's innovative at all. I don't think I think it's original in the way it depicts the characters. I think the characters are like really interesting and original, but the story, the movie as a whole, and even like as great as the animation is, what are we comparing it to?
Hmm.
It's I think it's fair to say it's inspired to be a bit generous, but if we're being a little bit more realistic, maybe a little derivative of Spider Verse. So it's not that there's anything particularly bad about it. You know, it took a really solid formula for a story. It took a really solid aesthetic for animation. And it added really cool characters, but those are just going to be like inherently kind of formulaic, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree. So let me throw something at you on purpose. What is Kanye West's first CD? I mean, not Kanye. I mean, Kid Cudi. I'm sorry. What is Kid Cudi's first CD?
Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon. Right?
Yeah, Man on the Moon.
Man on the Moon. How long do you think Kid Cudi's been working on this project?
I don't know. Like, I think he probably.
I don't think it's that long.
The reason?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think he's probably worked on the movie longer because one, that's just how long it takes to get something animated. Animation takes forever.
Right.
And the other thing is like I think it's obvious in the quality. I don't think the album's bad by any stretch or even mid. But like
the reason why I brought that up, Man on the Moon, track number 9.
It's called Entergalatic, yeah.
Intergalactic, quote, love connection. This movie, we all agree this is a love movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a love story through and through. I would say that's like an objective fact.
I think the song came before the movie.
Yeah.
If I'm not honest. I think the movie will be based off of the actual interview.
Okay. I listened to the song today.
Interesting.
The song, to a certain extent,
Is the movie
could have been in the movie.
It could have been in the movie. Yeah.
It could have been in the movie.
I'm a big fan of that song.
Maybe he went back because we did just recently get his best hit CD. Do you think there's a possibility, even though he was working on this, maybe some of his old work helped build into this movie and album?
I think it's probably an example of like the creative iceberg theory, where like like he probably had like all these ideas that went in and like got distilled down to the Intergalactic song. And now that he has like the clout to get something like this made, I think he's just like farming that.
Okay, so you said he has
that. I'm sorry. That stood out specifically.
Why?
I feel like both. First, I felt this on the album because I listened to the album before the actual show. Once I listened to the actual watched the actual Netflix show,
they all connect.
It's a very like. It's such a basic Kid Cudi. I don't want to say a watered down Kid Cudi, but I feel like he is just farming out a type of media that only he can produce. When you think of Kid Cudi, you get this certain like aroma that fills the room. Like you get this atmosphere and you think of it. I feel like he is just farming out what he can mass produce in that style because it earns its own place. It's its own category on its own field. So I feel like he didn't have to put in that much work.
Well,
outside of his already like what he does. This is what Kid Cudi is.
I would agree to a certain extent because in order to get technically your own special, you have to prove I can do this. Now, I don't know how well you've paid attention. Kid Cudi has been acting for a while now.
Yeah.
The first TV show I've ever saw Kid Cudi on was on.
Was it How to Make It in America?
Yes,
Yeah.
I fucking love that show.
Dude, that show is great.
So pissed that it got canceled.
Dude, that was like supposed to be Entourage for our generation.
It was.
Yeah, it's so good.
I loved how to Make It in America. There was rumors they were going to bring it back. I don't know how true it was. Kid Cudi's character wasn't a big role, but he played his role very well.
Yeah.
And he has done quite a few TV shows and movies since then. So I would say it took time for him to prove, hey, not only do I do music, I can be in this acting world. Now I have an idea, and who better to go to than Netflix? Netflix is like kind of right now the main person to go to if you have your own deal to try to get it done.
Yeah.
Or a TV show or a movie.
I mean, I personally think HBO is still the masthead for TV and movies right now.
I would say HBO is, especially for TV show series, they're like the mecca for long-running superior shows.
Yeah.
But if you're someone new into the scene,
yeah, if you want to make a splash,
it's Netflix.
Yeah,
it's got to be Netflix.
Yeah, they're almost like the Spotify of like
exactly
of like,
yes, that's
streaming content.
Example.
But I also think that might be their downfall. But yeah,
it can be.
Yeah,
it can be. And so with the movie, all in all, it was extremely entertaining. It was dope for the culture, and it was a door for him to possibly do other things. Because when this was announced, I was not expecting a rom-com. When this was announced, I'm thinking like futuristic, high-tech, super dope situation. And we got something completely out of left field to me personally.
See, I kind of always thought it'd be this because like Entergalatic is like, I mean, it was like an early attempt at like a club hit for him, I think.
But
it was like kind of like lovey-dovey, so like
it was.
So I don't think this was too out of line, but yeah, I was expecting like maybe even something like science fiction.
Exactly. That's my main thought. It's finna be some guys getting high.
Yeah, it's gonna be some man on the moon shit. Like
going to the moon.
Going to the moon, yeah. Like I'm going through a black hole.
I mean, it has the space. It's intergalactic. Like it's not true. Like yeah.
May you say smoking was definitely included in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Every other scene.
Who brushes their teeth and get high at the same time?
I have never done that. Right?
That was tough as fuck.
That's a love connection. I'll never experience. I don't know about that one.
That was interesting. I'm like, isn't that counterproductive?
Both of them smoking. But I don't know, Brandon. Should we rate it? Do you
the
think
movie?
Yeah.
Well, like I want to ask one last thing, and that is just real simply, like, what do you guys think of the music as far as like how it interfaced with the movie? Because I was like thinking like, oh, is this like going to be almost like a musical where like the music is like woven into the story in a way? But it really is just needle drops of original music, which like is cool. But and I think there are absolutely times in the movie where it works really, really well.
Yeah.
It does work, yeah.
But it seems like a romantic comedy with an especially dope soundtrack and not like a partnership to an album that is like equally as important. Like,
so when I first heard all this was happening with the album, rumors was the album was going to have nothing to do with the movie. That was the rumors I heard.
That's what we all heard.
I
thought everyone was like, "Is this a soundtrack?"
I never believed it.
Not a soundtrack.
I never believed it. I'm like I thought it was. I genuinely thought like what it ended up being was exactly what it was going to be, And
This is
you can run
100%
back.
the soundtrack.
Yeah, you can run back the conversation with Jasper. Like this is exactly what I always thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a movie, maybe like more of a musical, as I said, but like just a movie with original music, and the original music was going to be the album.
Yeah, honestly, and it just kind of works together.
Yeah. I don't think either one of them, let me not say survive, but I don't think that either one of them thrives as highly as they are without the other.
Right.
The movie, they function better together. The movie was good.
Yeah.
The album was pretty good. But when you mesh them together, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Makes sense, yeah.
And there were definitely, if we're transitioning into the album now, there were definitely like parts on the album where it's like, where I saw it in the movie and I'm like, oh, this is working in the movie.
Right.
I don't know if I ever want to hear this. Like, and and the example is Angel, like when he meets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What I was about to say.
Like,
do not get me wrong. Angel's like a beautiful song.
Yeah, and it works really, really well in the movie.
It's mid by itself.
Yeah.
It's mid.
Yeah, I'll concede to that. That makes sense.
By itself, but then when you watch the movie and it's like, oh shit,
scenes,
I'm watching this beautiful girl.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden the song comes on and it makes sense. Because I mean, so since we transitioned to the album, for me personally, I'm gonna say from Intergalactic Theme through Do What I Want, I'm happy with. And then I don't come back in until Can't Shake Her all the way through. The songs in the middle is just okay. I mean, they're entertaining. Look,
that's interesting.
They're Kid Cudi songs. I'm going to love them. It's going to be entertaining. But the songs that I've mentioned, I was really like kind of geeked. Because I mean, especially Intergalactic Theme.
Yeah, it's really good.
There's really no words.
Yeah, it's a good mood setter.
It's Cudi doing what he does best, and that's just sitting there humming his life away.
Yeah.
And it's just something about when he hums,
it works.
Nigga, you tap it into my soul.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, all the rest of the songs, they slide right into the movie.
Well, Brandon, go ahead. Since we're talking about the track list, let me see what you think.
Well, like Purvis, you texted me about it, and you're like, this feels like comfort zone music to me. And that is exactly how I feel about it. I feel like it's comfort zone music.
Yep.
I feel like Kid Cudi probably makes better music in his comfort zone than most artists.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay.
So I think and also I think maybe it's the swing in the opposite direction for me, because there are so many Kid Cudi projects that I think are just bad. Like, this is like Mission to the Moon or whatever. Like,
I mean, you called it. You said it was going to be the first mid album.
I think mid might be a little harsh, but yeah, it's certainly the closest to that for sure.
Does the movie change your grade of the album? Let's say you never saw the movie, you just listened to it.
I definitely think like I think like by watching the movie first, like when I went to the album, it immediately let me be in a zone of like, oh, this is working in service of the movie.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I maybe give it a little bit more leeway. Like I just skipped Angel. Like but the thing is, like, I do think like the songs, I don't, with the exception of like the last couple, She's Looking for Me and My Drug, I didn't really like.
Okay.
The ones with Don Toliver I liked.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. But the other ones, like, there were ones I loved, like Do What I Want, Willing to Trust, Living My Truth, Maybe So. Like, I genuinely really, really like those songs a lot. But the rest of it, they do just kind of feel like almost like AI generated Cudi music. It's like, yeah, this is good, but like this is just it's comfort zone music, you know?
Yeah. It's exactly what, like, when I text you that, I just felt like it was so spot on because the way I went into it, I listened to the album first before actually watching the show. And so, like, when you were predicting previously in the year, it's like, oh, it's going to be like a mid album. To me personally, that's very spot on because this is just, like you said, Cudi in the comfort zone. Cudi has the ability to create this vibe of music. It's very unique to himself because of what he means and what he stands for, and how he's helped so many people. So, like, if he just makes, which is why I said what you said earlier was a great point. If Kid Cudi makes a average Kid Cudi album, it's good.
Yeah,
it's already good.
I'm gonna enjoy it more than
Right.
any other artist's more average albums. God, that's a hard sentence to say.
But I do understand what you mean. And so with that being said, like I felt I won't say disrespected because it's not like I went into this with super high expectations anyway. But I felt personally cheated. Yeah, I didn't feel like he really put in all his effort into it. And like I won't complain because like it's still Kid Cudi. But it's like, dang, this all it is?
Let me
And
ask.
then I watched the show.
Okay.
I understood.
Let me playing devil's advocate or just thinking way too hard. When was Kid Cudi's daughter born?
Oh, it was a while ago.
She's 12, so she was born in
she's
2012,
12,
right? Okay.
2010.
2010. How she's born in 2010? Oh, that lines up even better. Okay. If she was born in 2010, anybody that really pays attention to music all knows his daughter pretty much stopped him from committing suicide.
True.
I'm going to go on a limb.
On the moon too.
I'm going to go on a limb. 2010 Men on the Moon 2 came out.
Yeah, that was a dark one.
Man, it was a dark one, but I'm gonna argue maybe his best album.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
So, but we all know Cudi used to live fucking free as hell. I'm gonna smoke, I'm gonna pop, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I want. After his daughter was born, he decided to go sober.
I think he's
There's a
probably
lot
like
of
California sober now. Like,
yeah, he's California. He's smoking again, but it's like I'm just smoking. I'm not doing all the crazy shit, and I'm probably only smoking sativa.
yeah.
So with that being said, you got Man on the Moon 2, you got Man on the Moon 1, and I even argue Indica, even though that's 2013. I feel like the best Cudi we got is when he was fucked up.
That's the thing that applies.
That's
like
messed up.
Every artist.
And I was about to make the argument.
I'm immediately gonna push back against that.
Okay.
I was gonna make the argument. Some of the best music we heard from some of our favorite artists is when they was either going through some shit or they was on some shit.
I mean, and that mentality has been around since like jazz.
True.
Like it's been a phenomenon people have like observed, like going back before any of the genres we talk about like on this podcast even existed. I think like there is like a stake at the heart of that argument, and that is I think Kids See Ghost, because I think it's by far his most out of the box and creative album, and it happened when he got out of rehab. Like,
true. Well, okay. All right. With that being said,
so like I just don't think there's a direct correlation. I ain't mad at the idea that Man on the Moon 2 is.
I will argue against that. It might be a direct correlation because when Kid See Ghost come out, yes, that was when he got out of rehab. When you think of Cudi's songs on Kid See Ghost, they were completely different than Man on the Moon. They were more like I'm free, in which he has a song called Free, where he's literally yelling, I'm free. Like, so literally,
Like God.
And then fucking Reborn. I almost cried listening to Reborn. I'm not even gonna lie.
Reborn is
With
special.
Kid, that song is special. So when Kid See Ghost came out, it was a different perspective. Man on the Moon and Man on the Moon 2, I am like, I'm depressed as fuck.
I mean, but he actually speaks about this when I went to go see the concert. A lot of things I was pointing out to him because when I went with a group of people that's not necessarily Kid Cudi fans. I mentioned this before. They just like to go to concerts and they like some Kid Cudi songs, like the popular ones. Kid Cudi didn't play a lot of his big hits because
He's transitioned.
that's when he was going through
Exactly.
it. He doesn't even want to go back in the same sense where like Chance the Rapper, when people like we want Chance to rap too, it's like nigga, I'm not taking
He's not right. I'm not on that anymore.
Not yet.
But I'm just saying, like
He
in
just
reality,
needs to get a divorce.
a little push.
I'm not gonna say divorce. Pause.
But
I'm just saying. The quality
I'm
to
dying. My sister-in-law in her room. She's like, I'm not going.
Yeah, my wife is in the background like a divorce.
I'm not saying Isaac should get divorced. I'm saying Chance the Rapper should get divorced. Let's stay on point.
No, you're only saying he needs a divorce because his last album was low-key dedicated to his wife.
And
And
bad.
it's probably his worst album. It's probably his worst album.
Exactly.
And so
It's the worst
So
album.
bad to happen.
look, he's gonna make up for the next album.
Right. We open
Today is not about Chance though, but with Cudi, like Purvis said, he's not performing his
He don't
old
even wanna
songs
do it.
because it takes it back to his dark place. When kids see
Yeah.
Ghosts, if you listen to it, it's him talking about coming out
Yeah.
of the darkness.
Okay, like when you reframe it that way, I definitely agree with what you mean.
That's why I was shocked to see Mr. Ranger a huge part of the movie.
Yeah.
I was like, yo,
The whole
when
his
he
whole
said,
job of-
yo, that's what I'm saying. When he said, oh, Mr. Ranger, my eyes got
Excuse me.
huge. My eyes got huge because all in my mind, I was thinking about him and Mary J song. That's it. So yeah.
These Worries, was that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
I love that song so much.
That made me think about that and his song, Hey, Mr. Ranger, Mr. Ranger, you know, tell me where you going. So
I see. I only watched the movie once, and now I'm thinking I immediately need to rewatch
I
it.
watched it twice.
Yeah,
And the
see like if
second
there's
time
like
changes-
layers to it that I didn't see the first time.
There's a couple of layers.
It's
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm telling you, I've watched it twice, and the second time you
Bro,
see stuff
bro,
you missed.
The worry tree, that's
Yeah.
what got me. Because there's a lot of background stuff that you don't really pick
The worry
up.
tree. The worry tree was the thing that drew.
So significant. The whole scene where he's
It-
going through
yeah.
a trip and the tree is growing, this nigga is concerned.
He's
Like,
really going
He's
through.
Yeah.
going through it, and it really adds an extra layer. Like, damn. This
Yep. This
Yeah.
prick co-worker. Hey, here go your gift, man. It's a worry tree.
Don't give me that. Let somebody give me a worry tree.
And like you said,
Don't throw that mess away.
it started to grow when he was really wondering, do I change Mr. Ranger? Do I make him dark or do I make him lighter?
Right, literally in a business suit.
You see what I'm saying?
Like, come on.
But
That's
then
weird.
when he got happy, he got a relationship, the plant died.
Yeah,
He went back to the original.
went back to
thing that
him.
He had
yeah.
everything. It's like, okay, this makes sense. He's showing her the original version of Mr. Ranger. He's
Exactly.
proud of it, and now he's embraced. Like, okay, this is who I am. This is
She
part of
brought him back.
it. Damn.
She brought him back.
Yeah. Ugh.
She did.
The-
That looks-
she did. Yeah.
She did.
Damn, that low key kind of got
You see what I'm saying? Like,
brought him back.
look,
Yeah, you got me
relationship.
there.
Even okay, the friend that they had when they had the scene where they was riding bikes in the skate park in the park, and the one friend, the one toxic friend, it wasn't Jaden Smith character, it was one other character. He talked about he dated a girl. He met a girl in the club. He woke up and she robbed his whole apartment.
Right.
Yeah.
But then-
I remembered.
Right, and then when he saw her later, he was like, "Why did you do that?" She was like, "So you remember me." So she was like, "I robbed you, so you remember me." And then he made the comment, "Love
Oh,
is
yeah.
something We hate and love. It fucks us up. But at the end of the day, love saves the world. Love is a double-edged sword. Every relationship you're gonna fight, but at the same time, when you fight, that partner of yours might bring you back, and that's what she did. She killed the plant and she brought him back.
The plant literally did die.
It died. The plant died. You watched in the background, the plant died.
Dang, I didn't even think about it this deep. I'm not even.
Trust me. When you watch it a second time, it changes your perspective completely.
And I believe that because when I went to the album the second time, it was after watching the movie, and immediately I was like, okay, this is more than just a mid Kid Cudi.
Yes.
There actually is a story behind it, and it works better with the movie because low-key, it is a soundtrack.
So is the album actually mid? Is it not mid? Because
I don't think it's mid on its own. So I'm bowing out. Like,
for me personally, it's high mid.
I don't hate that.
Like, your borderlines are being really good, but I give you high mid. But did he make it that way to match the movie?
I definitely think the music is in service of the movie and not the other way around.
Right, because I watched the movie before I would listen to the album.
And listening to the album the second time, it felt like you just watched the movie.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you following along the episodes, the scenes, or whatever, and it kind of rolls together. It makes sense afterwards.
I'm just gonna say, since I'm the only one that watched it twice, y'all need to watch it a second time. It would change your perspective completely.
I probably will. After this conversation, I probably will.
Yeah.
All right, but do we want to give grades for both of them separately? Because I feel like we have separate feelings.
Ooh, and then do one together. I don't know.
No, I don't think we need to do one together. Just movie and album.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with the album. Purvis, what do you give the album?
Separately, I'm giving the album, like, since we go off of A, B's, and C's and stuff like that, I'm gonna give it a B minus. The reason I say that, I feel like it's an average Kid Cudi album, which means that it's good enough. But if and this is how I kind of think about it. If you're sitting at home, Brandon, and you playing Halo, and you need to pull up music, are you really finna pull up Intergalactic? Be honest.
No,
I'm not going to.
No, but
so I can't give it too high of a grade. So that's why I say B minus.
But I would say a good amount of the songs, like if they popped up, I'm not skipping them either.
Okay, that is a good point.
Yeah, but that's fair.
I'm sitting at a B minus.
Okay, Isaac, you go.
Album, I'm gonna initially say a C plus, but if I'm a teacher that believes in curving, I'm gonna say a B minus.
Yeah, I think we're like all in the right ballpark. Like I would probably go like a B minus. Because like I agree that like it's just a very average Kid Cudi album. I just think like that average is just, maybe a little higher than average.
Before we move on, before we rate the movie, Kid Cudi has rumored he's retiring soon.
Yeah. I don't buy it. I just don't buy it.
If this is his last one, I'm not going to be happy.
Yeah, I'm not going to be happy.
I think it's a good example of going out with a whimper and not a bang.
Yeah, I feel like he needs to release something else.
Yeah.
What I would be extremely ecstatic for, if we can get the Scots a full album, I'll probably shit my pants.
I think,
and have Don Toliver featured on like 3 of the songs. Look, I've already told my brother, if I had one song, Kid Cudi, Don Toliver, and Travis Scott, the harmonizing that would go along with that song will probably make my ears bleed from happiness.
They all gonna be by
they go wild with the harmonies.
Literally, I'll be happy if he just dropped a full The Scots album.
Yeah,
I'll be happy with a retirement.
I mean,
this ain't it though.
I'd like a Scots album, but I think I'd want him to go out and have like a singular as an artist statement.
Yeah. Something
that like, I don't know, like maybe Donda, like probably should be Kanye's last album, like a big statement.
Donda
Like,
1, not Donda 2.
I have
yeah,
a question, Brandon. If
yeah.
you're picking the last one to come out, let's say you want to go out with a bang, are you adding it to a series or should it be fresh? As in, should it be Man on the Moon 4? Or should you just come out with a whole separate project?
Well, I would do a whole separate project. I would have it be its own thing. Uh, I don't believe that he's never going to make music again.
I mean, you'll probably do like a Jay-Z. I'm not gonna drop a whole album, but I'm gonna come back for features.
Yeah, maybe, definitely. And
Jay-Z,
also, like,
Andre 3000.
I just think like creative people will always have that itch to scratch. And it's easy to say you don't want to do it anymore, like while you're doing it, but then staying away is a different thing altogether. So,
Yeah.
and maybe that's just me being like such a huge Kid Cudi fan that I just don't want him to quit.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
like
there's also
anybody
true.
else.
Yeah,
That's
but
any generation. You love an artist, please don't stop making music.
exactly.
All right, Brandon, should we do, let's
Yeah.
go in opposite order. Let me hear your grade for the movie.
The movie I'm giving a B plus. I thought it was real fun. I think the animation and just the visuals, like at all, were really, really like stark and grabbing. I think it's worth everyone's time. Like I don't think it's innovative or like the craziest thing ever. It's probably not going to be the best. It probably is just as likely to be the best movie of the year as Entergalatic is going to be the best album of the year. But I definitely think it's worth people's time. So I'm going B plus.
Isaac?
Second watch brought my grade up. When I watched it the first time, I had gave it a B minus. Second watch, I had gave it a B plus. A strong B plus. A very strong B plus. It was mostly because there was a lot of things I missed on the first go. Then the second go, I picked up like, damn, how the fuck did I miss it the first go? So solid, a very, very solid, strong B plus.
I personally, I think it does break the boundaries in terms of taking that next step. I would give it an A minus on like a weekday, a B plus. I think it does reach that A area. It's unique enough in its own right where the animation does still stand out. It's not like they copied Spider-Man, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
I think it's standalone by itself,
Right.
but it still gives that unique animation feel that a lot of people have not broken into.
Right.
It's a whole new market that's untapped, and I think they do a fantastic job of doing that. I think the plot is grade A. It doesn't break the mold, which is what you said earlier. Rom-coms in general, I don't feel like
Good.
you can really expand with a rom-com.
Yeah.
Like with horror, you can kind of go in different directions and avenues, but I feel with rom-com, it's better fit traditionally, and I think it does exactly where it should, where it breaks the mold enough where it fits a new generation,
It
but it
definitely
doesn't change anything, you know.
it definitely fits the it definitely breaks the mold visually. Like telling this kind of story, like animated period, but yeah, animated period, but animated this well and then like told with such visual intelligence. Like, yeah, it is in that way it breaks the mold, you know.
Exactly.
Most rom-coms look like Hitch, and hey, Hitch is a fun movie, but it's not exactly a visual wonderland.
Right.
But let's be honest, exactly. So that's why I say it does a great job at singling itself out or around a mist of average as rom-coms. That's why
fair.
I give it an A minus. The plot is relative to a lot of people in our generation, which we don't see in movies a lot of days. And I feel like you only get that originality because he's someone that's fitting the culture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's a benefit on himself.
Kid Cudi picked the perfect time to drop it.
Exactly.
Like we said earlier, rom-coms were dying.
Yeah.
Can't think of the last couple.
You can't think of a really good.
The last one I remember was Crazy Rich Asians in 2019.
That was so long ago. I was about to say,
which like yeah, like it might not seem super duper long ago, but like we used to get like one of those a month, like in the early 2000s.
Exactly. And then when you think about it, with that movie alone, it was very heavily push towards the Asian community.
Yeah.
Not everyone was really trying to be like, oh, if you weren't really someone that was in the cinematic world, you probably didn't know much about it.
Actually, I'm just gonna put this out there. At the time, you can ask Purvis. I was like seeing every single movie. I was following all the blogs. Everyone was talking about that movie.
You said that was like 2019, right?
Yeah.
Oh, weren't we locked inside?
No, this was in the summer before. Yeah, 2020.
Gotcha.
Hey, I'm taking a look right now, Brandon. I'm looking up the top 10 rom-coms of this year.
Yeah.
I don't recognize one of them. Do you want me to read them and try to take a guess? Okay, number 1 is Crush.
Yeah.
On Hulu. Number 2, I Want You Back on Amazon. Number 3, Marry Me on Amazon. Number 4, Valet on Hulu. Number 5, Love and Leashes on Netflix. So essentially, every single rom-com is on a streaming service,
especially nowadays. Yeah.
So,
so is this like
really getting a rom? Exactly, and so is this. Yeah. So that in itself just kind of proves the genre of it is dying.
It's not hitting the big screen.
Or is it dying, or did it find a new home?
A new home.
Where would you say the new home is?
On streaming.
Like, okay. I see.
Yeah, like it's.
I thought you said like the genre change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like this. Like it's kind of like how short movies used to get played at the movie theater a lot. Like you would, like in the 60s and before movies, there would be short films. But like we've never seen that, so we don't even recognize the loss of short films from the movie landscape. We've seen, and like we wouldn't expect to see something like a Grey's Anatomy or a music video in a movie theater, right? So I think just growing up now, people are going to see rom-coms mostly as things that go to streaming because they're cheap to produce and they make more money at home.
Yeah.
And they always have. Like when you look at things like DVD sales, it's why they're some of the most profitable movies of all time. Because people buy them in, like, forever. Like, people are still buying copies of When Harry Met Sally and My Big Fat Greek Wedding and all that shit,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, I can't believe this hip-hop podcast became about rom-coms for a minute.
Naturally, it's kind of just...
The movie hit the culture very strong.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
I was going to say, regardless of whatever, listen or watch the movie at least.
Yeah, the movie is absolutely worth your time.
It's digestible. Just go watch it. It doesn't take a long time. Throw it in the background.
Yeah,
if you like Kid Cudi, then listen to that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Do we want to do recommendations?
Yeah. Do you want to open up? Do you have yours ready?
Let's have the guest of honor go.
Okay. All right. So for my recommendations, 2 of them are homebred, so I'm gonna save them for last.
Well, we're doing 2 each.
Oh, it's not 3. I'm sorry.
We do 3 when it's just us. When we have a guest on, it's 2 each.
Go after the big one. Do you want me to go first?
Oh man,
I'll go first. It's a little bit of a background story, but we've been talking about this over the past week. We came up on some random Instagram story that was basically saying like hidden songs within other songs.
Yeah,
and it got me thinking, and I wanted to recommend the Logic song African Aryan. Right, Aryan. Very different type of song. But what I would say the most importantly is has a hidden J. Cole feature. It is not credited on any of the streaming services. It will not say J. Cole is on it. But at the end of the song, and I'm pretty sure the end of the album, I could be incorrect. I think it's the last song. It has a J. Cole feature that throws in. And may I say, we've already been praising J. Cole for his features. This was one of his biggest features of the year. It wasn't this year, but of the year that it came out.
Yeah, because that came out a while ago, right?
Jesus Christ, Brandon. Yeah. I know we've talked about Logic, and we aren't necessarily the biggest fans right now, but
I'm on
I
Ride Till I
would
Die.
listen to this song. This song and J. Cole's feature is one of his hardest lyrics and verses I've heard ever.
I've heard of this song. Okay, I'll listen to it. I'll take your advice. I'll listen to
So
it.
good.
I will say this. I remember when this song came out. I kind of clowned it because it's like, do you know what being Aryan means?
I'm assuming it has to be connected with white, correct?
It means to be like a Nazi, like a white nationalist, someone who believes that whites are like the true people. And
Well, yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
what I'm saying, like
yeah,
white.
yeah. No, it's like it doesn't mean to be white. It means to think white people are superior. And I'm like, that's not equivalent to being African.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if you can mix the two words and make it into one.
Yeah,
Well, we
like no,
already
that's
know
just like what that
Logic
word
is-
means. Like it actually isn't.
That's this.
We also Logic tries to think very deeply, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's a oxymoron somewhere
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, and it's just like okay, like this is goofy. Like, but if you're telling me to listen to it, I'll listen to it now. I found it already.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's interesting because J. Cole is also mixed with people who do not know his mom is white, and so he has a very shared relationship with J. Cole. He gives a very personal and relatable verse in this album, specific for Logic.
Look,
Okay, I'll listen
Purvis
to it. I'll listen to it as soon as we're done here.
Purvis and I have had the argument, and I have defended Logic. I feel like people hate on him. I could look. This is off the mic. We'll talk about this later because I could go on for a while. We made Logic what he is now. Why people hate him? That's a different topic, though.
We'll bring you on for a Logic episode.
We're gonna
say less.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we'll bring you on for a Logic episode.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm.
Did you
ready.
crack one?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I feel bad because I am going to drop one of the Chicago artists, and she was a female. I feel really bad.
It's a no name.
No, it was Jamila Wood.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop her song. So, my first recommendation is by Peter Cottontail.
oh yeah,
Forever and Always.
man, I am so
Featuring
mad. I
Chance
got
the
distracted
Rapper.
by Free Drinks and Miss Tim at Lollapalooza. I'm so pissed.
Forever and Always by Peter Cottontail featuring Chance the Rapper. By the end of this song, I am literally in my car just singing and holding back all kinds of emotion. I feel like it's kind of a summer song, but to be honest, you can listen to this song whenever.
Yeah.
In the way that, I mean, if people don't know who Peter Cottontail is, he has been in the industry maybe the past maybe 8-9 years, maybe.
Yeah.
And he's been one of the guys, engineers, producers in the background, making beats for like Chance and all kinds of guys. Like Chance, Vic Mensa, Tokyo, for those who don't know who Tokyo is.
Oh, I know what Tokyo is. Yeah.
So yeah, Peter Cottontail, Forever and Always. That's my first song.
See, good choice.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right. So I'm gonna recommend Sierra Nights by Kevin Abstract. He was tweeting about how it's an underrated track. And I gotta be honest, I've been listening to a lot of the Brockhampton stuff. I'm recommending that. It's very good. Like,
But I do like some Kevin Abstract.
Yeah.
In rock.
the first half is one of my favorite hooks of this decade so far.
You said Sierra Nights, right?
Yeah.
Is that from Arizona, baby?
That's a good song.
No, he just dropped it last year.
He just dropped it?
No, he dropped it last year. He dropped it like last
Oh,
summer.
okay.
But it was just like a Lucy.
And I have to look into it. I think I completely missed this, if I'm being honest.
It's really, really good.
But what I'm going to jump into then, Brandon, I think you've mentioned him before actually on the podcast, but Duke Deuce.
Oh, yeah.
Crunk Ain't Dead. This song bangs. It is so hard. Crunk Ain't Dead.
Oh,
it is
God.
so hard.
He's so
Like, he never
he's
misses.
so hard. He's funny too, dude.
The video is perfect. I've seen the video and memes like insane.
He's funny.
Dude, I love Duke Deuce. He should be on everything.
Honestly, yes. That's my little like go-to, like just get turned up.
I remember like it took me a few weeks to like listen to the Isaiah Rashad album last summer. Because like when I heard Lay With Ya and I heard the Duke Deuce feature, I'm like, wait, I'm gonna listen to this for a while.
Let me look into this real quick. And like I said last week, honestly, it's in my top 5.
Yeah.
Really? Last year.
Oh, okay. I thought it was my
last year. Isaiah Rashad.
Oh no,
5.
He's definitely top 5 last year.
Oh yeah,
no,
last year, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Well, Isaac, let's get yours then.
All right, my second artist. Right now, his most popular song that's playing on the radio right now is Billie Eilish by Armani White.
Ooh, I love that song. Fuck.
But that's not the song I'm recommending.
Okay.
I've jumped on him when he first came out 2017, 2018. Wonderful Day, Onederful. That song right there was like his song that put him in the music industry, but not necessarily put him on the map. It's like not wonderful, but like one, like the word one. The number one. Whenever I hear this, the song starts with him on a phone call with his niece. And she was like, "Are you ready?" He was like, "Yeah." And the beat drops. This is a soft turn-up song. But if you're ever having a really rough day, I recommend turning this on. It will turn your day around. And I love the hell out of it. I'm kind of sad people are just now getting on him because of the song Billie Eilish, which is kind of being pushed by TikTok.
Yeah.
This song right here is like his first song, and he old as hell.
Wow. All right. I'm gonna listen to that.
Listen to his album.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon.
All right. This is a bit of a walk. All right. So, are any of you familiar with a band called Linkin Park? Maybe Isaac.
Yes, I've heard of Linkin Park.
I hope so.
Yeah, okay. I have no idea, Purvis. One day I was like,
what I will
should
say
I recommend a Metallica album? You're like, what's that? Like,
I have not just chosen to listen to Linkin Park, but yes, I know who they are. They are important.
Man. No, I've listened to their music.
Yeah, like Linkin Park was on the list of like albums I would give you.
Okay.
So they have like an iconic, like one of their first singles from their first album, Hybrid Theory, which is a masterpiece. Called One Step Closer. And recently I found, and another thing about them is they have like this tradition of like having other artists take their songs and remix them, specifically hip hop artists, right?
Jay-Z.
They have an entire album with Jay-Z called Crash Course. They have something called Reanimation, where they had The Alchemist and there was another like big name producer that we talked about, but like The Alchemist is on it, right? Like it's these big producers coming in and like reinterpreting their songs. So there's like a tradition of that. But the lead singer of Linkin Park tragically died, so naturally we're just not getting more music. But earlier this year they started to tease possibly a new Reanimation, like a new album collecting remixes. And there's a remix of One Step Closer by 100 Gex. And
Gex?
Yeah. A band I famously hate. And you know what?
Yeah, like, what the heck?
And now, dude, this remix is so good. I was like, was I tripping?
No, you're lying.
I went back and I re-listened to their music because this remix is so good. And I still don't like it. But this remix is incredible.
I'm going to listen.
It's taking like this 20-year-old like really iconic song. I would definitely say if you don't like know the opening riff to One Step Closer when you hear it, maybe listen to the original version first.
Yeah.
Isaac probably knows it because like he's old.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And also, Mike Shinoda, top tier white rapper. And
Brandon,
yeah.
can you imagine? Because I feel like they will fit perfectly together. Linkin Park and Kid Cudi.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
mean, both of them. I mean, for me personally, Kid Cudi and Linkin Park with their music definitely help people that battle depression.
Yeah, they're like the. I can't think of two artists who are more closely linked with that specifically.
Yeah.
Than Kid Cudi and Linkin Park. So yeah, like it's a really good song off a really good album, and it's remixed really well by a band I don't even like. But yeah, I found it. I can't stop listening to it, and I'm just happy that when I listen to it, title recognizes a play for Linkin Park. Like,
I was about to say, you just get off of your Riot Fest phase.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're still getting all that through.
Yes. Yeah. Brandon, you was spared last night. I just want to let you know that.
What?
You was spared, not last night. I'm sorry. You was spared last week with the gospel album.
Yeah.
Purvis spared you.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I spared Purvis too a little bit.
I was very, dude.
You
level
borderline spelled Purvis.
No, I could have
heard of
recommended the
Metallica.
number of the beast. Like,
Okay.
I tried not to give you something too deep within gospel. I was like, I need something.
yeah,
That
I like
makes
it.
you relax.
I like the album. Like,
It was
Yeah,
good.
it's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
album.
yeah.
It's a good album.
yeah. Oh my god, guys, this was a bonus. This was a bonus long episode,
Yes, it was. Yes,
but
it
it's
was.
worth it.
Hey, Brandon, before we sign off,
Yeah.
I want to say this to everyone that's listening.
Yes.
So, everyone that's listening, if you can recommend or get 3 friends to subscribe to YouTube
Yeah.
and Instagram and screenshot it, whoever sends screenshots, the first person sends screenshots of 3 new friends to Unpaid Nobody's
The
podcast
Instagram, yeah.
Instagram page, I personally will throw in a $50 gas gift card.
Damn.
I'm saying this live right now.
Damn.
Whoever
All right.
sends, the first person to send in a screenshot saying it to all their friends, send out to your friends. The first person who can show 3 friends to subscribe to Unpaid Nobodies, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever the case might be, if you can show that you are new, not old people, new people, first person to send 3 new friends who subscribe, I will put in a $50 gas card.
Damn. All right, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's-
I can't beat that for a closer, so I'm gonna just hit this
And we
button.
out.
I'm gonna just
you
hit this
made
button.
it this far, you deserve it.
Yeah, if you made it this far, you deserved it.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you next week. You'll hear from us. Follow Isaac on Instagram, you rat bastards. Like, all right. Peace.
You want to promote your book? Because the book.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. I will say this before we sign out. So I've been writing for a long time. And finally this year I said I was gonna stop bullshitting. Before this year is over with, my first book I will be publishing.
Oh, I'm a big reader, so
When it's all done, I'll have all of it up on my Instagram. I want it like completely done. It'll be through Amazon. I want it all done between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I have 2 books I've completed but need to go through editing, and my 3rd book I'm 20% done with.
yeah.
Went through some shit a couple of weeks ago, and I'm reevaluating life. And my first book will be done for this year's over with, no matter what.
Absolutely.
So I'll
Well,
have that information on my Instagram.
We'll be promoting it.
Cool. Sounds
Absolutely.
good. Yeah, Instagram. I think it's just Isaac Funches. That's it. No spaces, no
Absolutely.
underscores.
We'll put it in the
Isaac
bottom too.
Cool.
All right, everybody. See you next week.